everybody and welcome to That's Football. Are we on the verge of the best season ever as Liverpool and Manchester City go head to head, not just for the Premier League but also the FA Cup and the Champions League as well? Man City could do a treble, Liverpool could do a quadruple. It's exciting unless you're a Manchester United fan, because ultimately I feel like a turkey a week out from Christmas and the farmer's walking towards the field with a big axe. It's not great, but we're powerless to do anything about it. And I've been saying this for years. Your destiny should be in your own hands. United, last year, we got very lucky that Chelsea did us a favour in the FA Cup and the Champions League, stopping City winning a treble. And this season, who are we looking to do it? You've got to take control of your own destiny. And ultimately, I don't want Liverpool to win a treble or a quadruple or Manchester City. But I've got to say, and I was saying this yesterday as well, Liverpool and Manchester City, it reminds me a little bit of '99 with United, where people forget how good Arsenal were. We beat them in extra time in the FA Cup. They took us to the last day in the Champions League, and I don't think they were even in the European Cup to prevent us winning that. So if one of them do a treble this year, or even better, a quadruple from Liverpool, I would have to say, begrudgingly, hatefully, and I don't do hate, but I'd hate it, is that you can't knock it. There's fans in the ground. There's two very, very good teams going up against each other. I'm hoping they're going to share trophies. But at the moment, I feel that Liverpool are the better team. And I'll explain why. I think if you were asking me now who's going to win the league, I'd say Liverpool. If you'd asked me who's going to do better in the FA Cup game in a few weeks' time, I'd say Liverpool, and I'd say the Champions League as well. Man City are a fantastic side. We know how Pep Guardiola plays. They're playing really, really well. But with Liverpool, they just seem to have that momentum. And it's not just because City drew to Palace the other day. Palace are a very good side. But Liverpool just seem to have that winnability, that belief. And I think if you look at the FA Cup game over the weekend, Manchester City, apart from their goalkeeper, they picked a very strong team against Southampton. They obviously felt that they might be vulnerable there if they made changes. Liverpool went to Forest and basically changed half of their team and never really looked in danger. In fact, they looked more in danger when Liverpool brought their better players on off the bench, like Thiago and Henderson and Diaz. Forest actually had a few more chances because I think Liverpool were going for it. In the first half, I've said this before about Liverpool, I don't want to wax lyrical about them too much, but I've said this for years. The way Jurgen Klopp trains that Liverpool team, if you haven't got Salah and Mane and Henderson and Fabinho and Matip and everything like that, that would normally massively weaken a team. I look at United, I mean, we're weak with our first 11, but God, if you start rotating, it's really perilous how bad we can get. But with Liverpool, obviously there's a little bit of a drop-off when you leave players out, but they still know the system. You can take 2, 3, 4, 5 players out of that Liverpool team and they'll still press high line, high intensity, close the passing lanes, force you to hit an aimless long ball, or force you into an error as you try to play through their press. That's 6, 7 players not playing yesterday, or 4, 5 or 6, whatever. But it's still the same Liverpool. Like, in the first half, Forest were like the Dwarves of Moria. They couldn't get out. They were trying to pass their way through. They were making mistakes. It looks like they're making bad passes, but actually they're being forced into those passes. They tried a couple of long balls, and Van Dijk and I think it was Canate are just like that. We'll eat that for breakfast. That's Liverpool in their prime, in the way that Klopp wants them to approach the game. Very difficult to play when Liverpool have got you on the halfway line. They're pressing you into your own half, and they're basically saying, try and play through us or hit a long ball and we'll have the ball. And look, they didn't even score in the first half, but it was wave after wave after wave, and that's Liverpool, and they're in the groove. They're in the groove, and they're looking very, very strong. My hope as a United fan who doesn't want to see Liverpool in a quadruple or a treble is that somewhere along the way they're going to split this. And maybe the FA Cup semi-final, Liverpool win it. Maybe the league, Man City win it. Maybe the Champions League, Bayern Munich or Chelsea win it. But if I was a betting person on this, which I wouldn't, I would say right here, right now, I feel that Liverpool have got the momentum from a position where it didn't look like that was going to happen. Man City in the league do seem to have a more reasonable run-in, but the thing about Man City is you never know when they're going to drop points, and that game at the Etihad on April the 10th, if Liverpool win that, I just don't see them slipping up again. Yes, injuries could have a big part in this, but right here, right now, I feel that Liverpool are I wouldn't say the more worthy because there's so many games left to go, but I'd feel that they've got the momentum and they're the better side at the moment. But look, I'm not taking anything away from Manchester City. I think Manchester City, up until a few weeks ago, looked like they were going to win back-to-back titles and looked very dangerous themselves for a Champions League, which they're clearly obsessed about. Do we think that that Champions League obsession for Manchester City is going to hinder their league form? No, I don't think so, really. I think Man City against Atletico Madrid, I don't think they'll even break sweat. I'm not saying that Atletico Madrid can't cause a shock, but that will be Man City with the ball, how they want the ball for 60-70% of the possession. I don't think they're going to break sweat against them. I don't think Liverpool are really going to break sweat against Benfica. And then into the semi-finals, you'll have a clearer idea of where you are in the league. Liverpool and Man City are going to need big endurance. I know it's a big, long season, but ultimately they're playing each other at least twice for major trophies. That Etihad game, like I said, in the league is like a cup final, really. The cup semi-final is a cup semi-final. And there's the potential they could meet each other in the Champions League final. Do I think Liverpool can beat Man City in the semi-final at the Etihad and in a Champions League final? If they did that, they would deserve the plaudits, they would deserve the history, they would deserve to be mentioned in the same category as the United 99 side. In fact, they'd have a quadruple, so they'd probably peak it, wouldn't they, to be honest? Let's be honest. I felt last season, if Man City had won the treble, that would have been an achievement, but you're doing it in empty stadiums. Liverpool had a massive injury problem. Chelsea didn't start till halfway through. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Man United was your second place team. So I felt that would have been a bit of a, not a fake, but what I'm saying is I think this year, if anybody does anything, historical like a treble or a quadruple, I hate it, but you've got to applaud it because they are up against two of the best teams that the Premier League's had certainly in the last decade, arguably ever. But I don't want to talk about that at the moment because I think people jump the gun. You'll get Gary Lineker going, this is the best Man City side or the best Liverpool side ever, jinxing it, and then they'll end up winning one thing. You have these discussions at the end of the season, and what I know as a United fan, and United fans who lived it will tell you, if you went back and spoke about that United side in late March, I don't think anyone would be saying it's the greatest side that's ever played. What happened in April and May dictated that. The Champions League semi-finals against Juventus, the FA Cup semi-final against Arsenal, the league running. This is where I think modern day people go wrong because they start wanting to be, we're the greatest team ever in March and February. And actually, end of April into May is when you find out whether you're one of the greatest teams ever, because that's when the pressure rises. That's when the big games hit. And in a way, I am happy that Liverpool have got Man City in the FA Cup semi-final. I am happy that they've got to play each other, and if they have to play each other in the Champions League as well, those barriers are there. There's not an easy path to any of these trophies. Liverpool beat Chelsea in the Carabao Cup final, so it's not like sometimes what happens in the FA Cup or the league is that there's only a one-horse race, really, or in the FA Cup, everyone's played their reserves and you end up having to play Wigan in the final or something like that. So what you can't disagree with is the competitive nature, and if you look at the Champions League semi-finals as well, they're going to be big. They're going to be really big as well, because you're probably going to get Chelsea or Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Man City into the semi-finals before the final. So winning these trophies, nobody can say it was easy. And as I said, it's great that we've got fans in the crowd. So I think that at the moment, I feel that Liverpool have got the momentum, and I can understand why people are very excited about this season. For a United fan, it's horrible to watch because we're just powerless. We're having our worst season, comparable to one of the most exciting Premier League seasons there's been. As I say, it's got feelings of 99 to me. I just hope it doesn't come to pass in that sense. And then I suppose the next question is, how do people get close to this? Because Liverpool are starting to get squad depth that Manchester City have already had. Klopp and Pep, they're in that sort of groove that Sir Alex was in, where season to season you don't expect to drop off. You expect to compete every year. You might not win it every year, but you expect to be competing for the top titles every year. They both seem to have that thing going on. And I mean, Chelsea are probably the closest. They're going through their own issues at the moment. Can they provide stability for Tuchel and that team to continue building? I certainly think Chelsea on their day can compete with Liverpool and Man City. But then beyond that, I think it just goes to show that if you want to be what Liverpool and Man City have become, they're two contrasts. Man City have done it with major recruitment. Liverpool have done it with major restructure and recruitment. But they both are worthy as the two best teams in England. And if you want to get anywhere near that, you're going to have to appoint the right man. You're going to have to give him the right control. And you're going to have patience. And I think the only team that's doing that beyond Chelsea is probably Arsenal at the moment with Arteta, which is hilarious because some of the Arsenal fans just couldn't see it themselves, and I think some of them are just too stubborn to see it now. You see some high-profile fans, even what's his name, Morgan, still going on about Aubameyang scoring goals for Barcelona. You've just won at the weekend, pal. I don't get it. It's like having a divorce from your wife who's really nice and attractive, but you've met somebody else who's nice and attractive, and you're going, oh, I don't know what. It's like, well done, Aubameyang's doing well, but you're doing well. You're doing very, very well. That win at the weekend was fantastic. The winner get 6 points from 9 when United haven't played a game, and even Spurs are coming back now. But I think that you've got to buy into something over. I think even if Arsenal keep improving with giving Arteta control over players and recruitment, letting him make big decisions like buying a new goalkeeper and dumping Leno, or dumping Aubameyang and saying, look, we'll get on without him, which he's been proven right on so far. Even if you do all those sort of things, I still think Arsenal are not competing for a title next year. I think you've got to look at how many years it's taken City to do this, how many, and they've had massive money. But more importantly, look at how many years Liverpool have taken to do this. If Arsenal keep developing the way they have done over the last 18 months, for the next 18 months, I think the season after next, they may potentially start to look like a team that can compete for the top things. But the proof is in the pudding, isn't it? There's no club that's just going to challenge for the title next year. The only one that could potentially do it is Newcastle because of the money they've got, but they still won't do it. One thing that stands out to me, and Carragher would agree with me, it's the structure. It's the players, but it is the structure. It is the structure. The structure at Liverpool and Manchester City is elite, and it's not going anywhere. They're adding to that structure, so it's harder and harder for teams. For my club, Manchester United, or any club that's just nowhere near that point at the moment, yeah, you're going to have to look at it and go, we've got to get the right man in, and the right man, it's not like, the hint is there. You've got to go for a Klopp or a Pep or an Arteta or a Tuchel. You've got to go for a manager that is the right manager. I'm not saying Arteta's as good as Klopp and Pep, but I'm saying he's the right manager at the right time for Arsenal to rebuild it. And Manchester United, for me, should be going for Ten Hag, but that's not what I'm saying. They need the right manager with the right control and the right patience. And whether you can hit those three things at Manchester United, I don't know, but that is what is required, and that is why we got this big head-to-head between Liverpool and Manchester City. Chelsea can still have a part, I hope they do. Champions League and FA Cup, they can still have a part to play in that. But at the moment, I wouldn't write off any outcome, whether it's Chelsea winning the FA Cup and the Champions League, or Liverpool winning a quadruple, or Man City winning a treble, or them sharing it out. The law of probabilities would say that Liverpool and Man City are so close, it would be odd for Liverpool to win everything. You'd think it would be shared out, like I said, but I've seen it before. Arsenal United in '99, Arsenal were a good side. We won the lot, so it can happen. Get your comments in below, smash a like on the video, give us your thoughts. Where do you think this is going? For me, I think at the moment Liverpool look like they've got the momentum. Man City have got the experience, and could Chelsea have a part to play? Do you really think a quadruple for Liverpool, or a treble for Man City is on the cards? Or do you think it's just too tight between them that they'll end up damaging each other's dreams in a way? Thanks everyone for watching. I'll speak to you all soon.